TKM Extreme heading out now. And one thing that we could possibly use Anthony for is to find out who is on slick tyres. Here is your starting lineup.
Yes, indeed. Let's have a look at it then. Charlie King will lead us away for this TKM Extreme final here for event number 3. Alfie Garford is the one trying to stop him on second place. Then it's Harvey Roth and Joe Cheek behind, followed by Adam Sparrow and Kian Bennett. Then 7th, Lee Whittingham and Liv Jenkins. Then it's Chris Whitton and Gareth Haynes. Then Luke Jarman and Aaron Last there in 12th. Then it's Kai Springfield, Ashton Cox, Jessica Fitchhall, Alvin Chu, Ryan Morgan and Andrew Platt. And just behind them is Oliver Bowen and Fen Chapman.
Now, looking on our timing screens, John, Ryan Morgan may not have made it out, due to start the number 53 privateer entry from the penultimate row of the grid, P17, and can't quite see if he's out there now. Let's have a look. Well, we've got a mix of tyre compounds. We'll find out very quickly who is on slicks and wets. Those that are on wets will probably get a decent start, and then if it doesn't rain, they'll start to go backwards. If I was a driver, and I used to be, I'd be on slicks right now, and this is going to help the drivers on slicks even more. Now, the O plate is on slicks. The 19 is on slicks. So, Harvey Roth and Adam Sparrow definitely on slicks. Looking further back,
a lot of them on slicks.
Whitton on slicks. Everyone at the back of the pack on slicks. I have a feeling that Charlie King, Alfie Garford, Joe Cheek, Kian Bennett, and I think Lee Whittingham may have, as it stands. No, is that Charlie King on slicks? It is. The pole sitter's on
Harvey
slicks
Roth
as well.
definitely has slicks.
Yeah, Roth on slicks, but Garford is on wets.
Yes.
And
the Joe Cheek behind him, I think, on wets as well.
Yeah, Joe Cheek on wets. Down at the back here. Oh dear, I think that's what. To be fair, the rain is. We've had 4 seasons in 12 minutes before here at glan-y-gors. It could happen. But
seemingly every 12 minutes.
Yeah, every 12 minutes. Yes, it's the case of which 12 minutes they happen to be on circuit for. Let's find out. TKM Extreme. Come to the line, lights are out, we're off and racing through turn number 1. It's going to be advantage wets for a short while until the slicks get up to temperature. Don't force the slick, you want to try and force the slick drivers offline. So it's Garford on wets and Joe Cheek on wets. Cheek takes the lead, Garford second, but critically already you can see Harvey Roth on slick, there was Charlie King on slicks in third. Fascinating opening couple of laps in store, John.
Yeah, this is going to be super fascinating. I saw in the background as well Luke Jarman on the 18. I think he was on the wets. They had a great start. Some of the slick drivers just fanning out wide on the right, was able to cut up and under, take the inside line and get about 3 or 4 drivers. Really impressive to see. But yes, particularly through this downhill section, that's where I think the wets are going to be just a little bit better in this opening part of the lap, as you're shifting around your weight in the kart, trying to transfer the energy and trying to get the power down. That's going to be particularly difficult, but it is Joe Cheek at the lead of the race as we get to the end of lap 1, and he's already building a nice gap, up 3 positions on that opening lap, 0.6 of a second in hand.
Yes, he does indeed, but that 0.6 of a second will evaporate quicker than the residual surface water on this 1100 metre track unless we have more rain. But as I say that, the sun breaks through the dark clouds. Garford in second place, that Wera Tools number 88 is going to just try and, you've got to make the rear end of that kart wider than a London bus. Alfie Garford, Charlie King is just going to bide his time. We've got Kian Bennett in 4th position. Lee Whittingham is 5th, and I think Lee is on wet as well. Anthony Jordan may have done some calculations. He may be looking at who and give us some insight on who is on slicks. Go, take it away, Anthony.
Well, Henry, you were talking about tyres, and well, yes, I can tell you exactly that, as I'm just seeing here being pushed off the circuit, the number 25, who was one of the drivers who went out on slick tyres. Who was that? I haven't got the live timing up on me, so I'm flapping at the moment. Who is the number 25 all the way down? It's Alvin Chu, who's out of the race. Absolute disaster for him. The drivers who went out on slicks was Alvin Chu on the 25, the 97, the 20, the 58, the 1, the 19 and the O plate are all on slick tyres in this race. The rest are on slicks, and I've got to say the sun is coming back out here.
Okay, Anthony, so that is Kai Springfield in kart number 97. It is Gareth Haynes in kart 20. It is Ashton Cox in kart 58, defending champion Chris Whitten in kart 1, the 19 of Adam Sparrow and the 0 plate of Harvey Roth are definitely on slicks. I'm not sure if Anthony got all the way up through the order. It's Wets currently leading. 1, 2, 3 on Wets. Now who is this? Is this Lee Whittingham in the number 10 making his move? Can't see, is that slicks or Wets for Lee Whittingham? They look a bit wide for Wets, don't they? Let's have a look. We'll try and get a camera. The sun is out. I think he's on Wets because look at the side pods give it away. With wet tyres, the side pods can be a bit further out, or but if you're on slicks, yeah, Lee Whittingham is on wet tyres. So we got Wets. Oh, and you can see the kart now sort of understeering a little bit, oversteering a little bit. So Cian Bennett on Wets. We have got, I think, the top 6 are on. There they are. So there's the 6 drivers that are on wet tyres down to Luke Jarman. Chris Whitten is the best placed driver on slicks thanks to Anthony Jordan's input. Gareth, he's in 7th. Aaron Lask in 8th. Then it's Gareth Haynes, privateer driver, in 9th. Andrew Platt is 10th. Kai Springfield on slicks is in P11. 8 minutes to go, John Ratcliffe. That's going to be 8 tyre chewing, tortuous minutes for the front runners.
Yes, it will be. Yep, they get that initial getaway at the start of the race, but we may see the dries start to come into play a little bit more at the end of this one, as Adam Sparrow has set the fastest lap of the race on that last lap. He's down in 13th place. He's just taken a position away from Ben Chapman to move himself up into 12th, so he's definitely one to watch.
He's on slicks.
He is.
So there you go. Fastest lap of the race is to a driver on
and now
slick
it goes to
tyres,
Gareth Haynes.
and Gareth Haynes, who is in kart 20, who's also on slicks. 7.5 minutes to go, and the track has changed. It's now slicks over wets. The drivers you're looking at, they are on borrowed time.
And they're checking over their shoulders. They know it. They know the pace isn't there anymore. And now on that last lap, they had a good half a second to a second in it. Did the slick tyre runners over the wet drivers at the front. Charlie King was making good moves a couple of laps ago up into 2nd place. But now that pace just going for all those front runners.
Yep, Chris Whitten, watch for kart number 1. Chris is one of 5 drivers who have 8 British Championship race wins, tied for 2nd on the all-time list behind Kai Hunter. Could he move on to number 9? There's Gareth Haynes. Well, we haven't seen much of Gareth Haynes. Privateer driver. I mean, that's a true privateer effort there. There's no allegiance to anybody. No TK, no Targo Sport. He's a true privateer on that very, very attractive multi-blue-coloured kart there. The blue and grey turquoise livery number 20 kart. Gareth Haynes is the 2nd best slick shod runner. Adam Sparrow is the 3rd best placed slick shod runner. And here comes Chris Whitten. The slick train is about to enter the station.
It is indeed, yeah. Alice Powell in the chat confirming what we think. Slicks will be so fast now, and that's exactly what's happening. The slick drivers now closing in on the back of the pack of our wet runners at the front. And now the number 1, there is Chris Whitten right on the back of this train. Gareth Haynes, though, still setting faster laps of 49.42. Now that actually goes the way of Adam Sparrow, just behind a 49.11. Our dry tyre runners now 2 seconds, over 2 seconds faster than the wet tyres.
But you've still got to overtake them.
Very true.
Catching is one thing, passing is another. Joe Cheek leads by 0.7 of a second from Charlie King. Lee Whittingham is 3rd, 1.3 seconds back. Then it's Alfie Garford in kart number 88, 2.87 seconds behind, followed by Cian Bennett and Luke Jarman. Here comes Chris Whitten. Now look at Jarman's going to try and squeeze Chris Whitten back off the slick racing line. This is a real test of skill, and Gareth Haynes is closing in the privateer number 20. 5 minutes to go. 5 minutes. Oh, and Chris Whitten's giving all sorts of problems. He's on the right tyre, but he hasn't got track position.
Yeah, he's trying everything he can to try and squeeze through on the number 18, isn't he? But Luke Jarman is holding him off for now anyway. Looks to be a move just further ahead, but look at these 2 dry tyre runners coming up and over the crest. They're super quick. This is brilliant, but as you say, to make the overtake stick, they've got to get off that dry line onto the wet line and still try and get it stopped on dry tyres. But look at this, the 20's in behind. They're still going side by side. They're trying to get it through on Luke Jarman, and they've both managed to squeeze through, but it is still Chris Whitten leading Gareth Haynes there.
1 down, 5 to go for Whitten And Gareth Haynes, sometimes a driver that you wouldn't expect to be up at the front gets their 15 minutes of fame, and I'm not going to cast any dispersions on Gareth Haynes' talent because he's a very talented driver, but this is your moment to shine, Gareth. Grab it with both hands. The Welshman at a Welsh circuit has a chance of a podium in the British Championship on his seasonal debut. Take it with both hands, Gareth. This is your moment. Follow multiple champion Chris Whitten and learn all you can. Get your notebook out, because Chris Whitten could lead you onto the British Championship podium as Whitten makes short work of Alfie Garford and sets off after the top three. King now leads. Cheek is second. Whittingham is third, and Whitten and Haynes are fourth and fifth. Wales is cheering for that man, number 20, Gareth Haynes.
He's not just following, is he? He is looking very quick himself, is Gareth Haynes, as there's more battling going on behind them, as more dry tyre runners continue to come through. That's the number 19 now.
Adam Sparrow.
Adam Sparrow getting through. We've seen him have fastest laps throughout this race. He still does hold the fastest lap, a 49.07. Actually, nearly a second faster than the other two dry runners. Adam Sparrow looking so quick.
Lee Whittingham has passed Joe Cheek for second, and Chris Whitten just drives round the outside of Joe Cheek for third. Here comes Gareth Haynes. Move Haynes into P4. Whitten's got two drivers left to pass, Charlie King and Lee Whittingham. Can Gareth Haynes also catch and pass the two drivers on wet tyres? 2.5 minutes to go.
I can't call this between any of these three. This is going to look super close. Look, they're still continuing to battle as we come across the line. Tries it down the inside. The number one just chopped off was Chris Whitten. Going to have to feed in once again as they head up here. But this is going to be close.
Lee Whittingham knows he can't help it.
No.
He lets them go. There goes Lee Whittingham. His wait for another podium continues. And here comes Adam Sparrow.
Ooh, a bit of contact.
I really hope that his nose cone wasn't knocked off there as Sparrow passes Gareth Haynes. Whitten takes the lead, but Charlie King's not going to give in, even though his tyres are giving in. Here comes Adam Sparrow into P2.
He doesn't want to give in, but he has to. He just does not have the grip of those dry tyre runners anymore. Got that brilliant start, did Charlie King, but nothing down to him. Just those tyres now falling off as we head into drier circuit conditions. And look at this, the 20 now down the inside. Of course, Wales cheering for him, as you say. Gareth Haynes does get through, moves himself up into third. So now all of our top three on those slick tyres. It's Chris Whitten leading Adam Sparrow, leading Gareth Haynes. 1.5 minutes plus 1 lap left to go, and it's a three-way scrap for this win. And the 19 of Adam Sparrow's already trying it. He's all over the back of Chris Whitten. This is going to be a monumental battle.
Sparrow was British champion in 2020. Whitten won it last year. Two champions, both Talco supported privateer drivers. Whitten, 8 British final wins. Sparrow's got a few less, but has got the same amount of British championship. Haynes has never even sniffed a British championship podium, and here he is. And you know what? He's not out of it yet. 55 seconds to go. Slicks for the way forward. It came good right at the end. It's now Whitten versus Sparrow. Gareth Haynes looks over his shoulder. Gareth now knows there is no one chasing him. Gareth, get your head down and just look forward. What goes on behind you, you can do nothing about. What happens in front of you, every apex is now in your own hands.
Exactly, yeah. There's no point in looking back at this stage in the race. Just look forward and focus on your lines. Hit those marks, because one little mistake in these conditions and it can all be over. You're off on the grass, and particularly now when that grass is absolutely sodden, it will just drag you out wide, and that is it. You'll struggle to even get back onto the black stuff.
Adam Sparrow has got the sort of... looks like he wants to make a move. He looks like
he does.
He looks like a man who's not prepared to settle for second on this occasion.
I would agree, and they just crossed the line before we hit zero, so we're getting 2 more laps here. So he's been given the opportunity. He's been given the opportunity by the gods then as he closes in under brakes there. Look at that, so committed from both of them. They both want this win. I mean, of course they do, but they've had to fight through from the middle of the pack here early on in the race, thinking, oh, maybe I've made the wrong decision. But no, it's come good in the second half, and now it's a 2-way scrap between these two. But Gareth Haynes still there in the background, ready to pick up the pieces if it all goes wrong.
Further back, we've got more drivers on wet tyres now, on slick tyres, trying to come through. There is the O-plate of Harvey Roth. Charlie King is still the best placed runner on wets in 4th. followed by Whittingham in 5th. Springfield on slicks is 6th. Then it's Jarman on wet 7th. Cheek is wet as we start the final lap. Adam Sparrow has the race lead. John Ratcliffe.
He's stolen it away, hasn't he? Just as we cut back to them, look at this battle. It's fantastic. He's going to have to move over to the inside to defend, but of course that's going to be slightly wetter. Could let it go out wide, but gets the power down nicely. Going to try the up and under. Is the number 1. He's got it alongside. Has Chris Whitten. He's going to try the overtake down at the bottom of the hill. Try not to get caught out by that downhill braking. Tries the up and under to 19, but it's not going to work. And Chris Whitten retakes the lead.
3-4 corners to go. Oh, Whitten got on another damp patch there. Here comes
Contact.
Sparrow. They interlock coming through Devil's Elbow. Now they separate once again. Whitten has it. Sparrow wants it. Here comes Gareth Haynes. 1 corner to go. It's going to be Whitten by inches over Sparrow. Gareth Haynes, take a bow. P3. Here comes Kai Springfield in 4th. King on wets is 5th. 6th for Lee Whittingham on wets. Roth 7th on slicks. Jarman 8th on wets. Garford 9th on wets. And then it's Cian Bennett 10th on wets. Cheek 11th on wets. Ashton Cox, Liv Jenkins, Andrew Platt, Ben Chapman, Oliver Bowen, Jessica Pitchell, John Ratcliffe. We have just witnessed one of the greats.
That was unbelievable. It was so good. You couldn't get Chris Whitten's name out your head there. We've just witnessed the best race of all time, and we have.
We have witnessed, yeah.
That was absolutely fantastic. I couldn't keep my eyes off that. What a battle. And how it just changed through the race, that initial getaway. The slick driver was just getting pounced on by the wets, but then it all came back to the end as it dried out, and it looked like it could go any way. Sparrow was looking the quickest by quite some way during the most of that race, but Whitten got that pace at the end, and he definitely had to fight for it. Sparrow got him on the second last lap, but Whitten re-overtake. What a race.
Indeed, indeed. The difference there. Gareth Haynes, well, I hope it's the first of many podiums for him. But as for non-target sport, true privateer entries, the opportunities are few and far between. You've got to gamble. Alice Powell said on the live chat, she said, if you're at the back, go on slicks, you've got nothing to lose.
You can see the tyres, steaming.
Yeah, steaming. And wow, in the comments, everybody, if you couldn't tell me a better race we've had this season, put it in the comments, because I don't think there's been one.
Absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Well, there's a couple of races we've got left to go.
On.
Yeah, they've got a lot to do.
Calm down, Henry. What are you saying about?
to live up to that one. Absolutely brilliant. Of course, we lost a couple of drivers from that one, annoyingly, but of course, the top
Anthony,
three,
yes.
Can't wait to hear from them, and we're going to go down to Anthony in the pit lane.
Well, down here in Parc Fermé, what a race that was, all the way to the checker flag. You and Sparrow all the way to the end. Chris, you managed to get the move done on the last lap. Well, you managed to retake the move back on the last lap. What a race that was.
Yeah, it was really good. I mean, the first couple of laps were a bit sketchy on the slicks and everyone else was on the wets. But, yeah, I saw Adam and Harvey dropped it on the first couple of laps, so I was the first slick runner. So when I got past all the wet runners, I was sort of first in line, really. Yeah. And apart from that, it was really good, close till the end.
Yeah, it very much was, wasn't it? What made you decide to go for the slicks?
Just the years that we've been here, really. We know this track drives fast, just from experience, really. So we thought we'll go for it. We're slightly down the order anyway, so we took the gamble.
Hey, it paid off, didn't it? P1, well done.
Thank you very much.
Excellent stuff there, Chris Whitten there. Let's chat to Adam Sparrow, who finishes in P2. Adam, that was certainly a fight, and you certainly made it look like a challenge. But wait, what a result, though, P2.
Yeah, I threw it away, but there was another issue in the early laps, which I managed to fix, which mine was on. But I know I'm quick in these conditions, which is allowing me to catch back up to Chris, and I tried.
What was the issue?
I'm not going to go into any further, but it's very unsportsmanlike from other people. I'm just going to leave it at that.
Right, OK, fair enough. But, mate, a solid result, though, still. What a fight, though, with Chris to the flag, though.
Oh, yeah, great move from Chris there. I don't think he realised I was there at the end there, but which is why I managed to get the move on him. But great switch back. I think he had a bit more teeth on for those situations. But, yeah, it's a great race. Great, respectful driving from Chris. I'm quite happy.
Mate, solid result. Well done, P2. We'll see you on the podium later on. Let's chat to our third place man. Home win. Home win here for Gareth Haynes. Gareth, again, another one of our drivers who went for the slick tyres. Only, I think, about a handful, about 5 of you went for the slick tyres in the end. So what made you firstly go for that one?
I was just looking at the clouds, to be honest. Didn't look like it was going to rain again. Track looked like it was dry and quick, and just went for a gamble. I think I was the first one to do it and just caused a bit of a reaction, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, it was a nice choice to go for them, but in the end, talks about those early laps, having to battle with the track still in a slightly damp condition. So was it quite tough out there?
Yeah, for sure. There were definitely some slippy corners. It was just about keeping it on the track in the first place, to be honest. And after that, just the pace came and the wet guys all sort of fell behind, and it just became a race between the guys on slicks, to be honest.
Yeah, exactly. Talk us about the moment where you had to try and get through the wet tyre guys, because, of course, catching up is one thing, but getting past is another, like Henry likes to say. And, of course, that was certainly a challenge.
For sure, it was a challenge. I think it's made easier, just the grip advantage, especially around some of the fast corners. You can just almost go around the outside of them. It makes it a lot easier, a lot more opportunity than slicks on slicks.
Yeah, exactly. Mate, what a result, though. Congratulations. We'll see you out there later on today.
Thank you very much.
Excellent stuff there for our TKM drivers. More finals coming up. Stay with us as the engines now fire up for Junior X30.
We now move on to the podium presentation for TKM Extreme, one of the most dramatic races we've had for a long time, but it turns out not even one of the most dramatic races that we've had today, as you will see as the day goes on. Finishing in a stunning third place on his British Championship debut, his day job managing tyres for Formula 2 and Formula 3 for Pirelli, so it was no surprise he chose the right tyre compound for the final. It's Wales's Gareth Haynes! And Gareth, on his first ever appearance in the British Championship, finished less than 6/10 of a second behind our eventual winner. As a true privateer, congratulations. Now on to the top two, and it boiled down to 1500ths of a second. They even had time to give each other a little love tap on the last lap of the race. But finishing in second, former British champion, current Mazda Championship leader, it's Adam Sparrow.
Can't spatters look lively.
Now, at the start of the day, our next driver came into Sunday's racing in a 5-way tie for second in terms of overall race wins in the modern era of the British Championship with 8. For a short while, he moved into sole possession of second place in the all-time win list with his 9th final victory. Talco privateer and defending champion Chris Whitten and his mechanic Craig Luffman. So Chris Whitten spent all of about 30 minutes in sole possession of second on the all-time British Championship win list, as we'll find out with the next podium presentation. But ladies and gentlemen, your TKM Extreme podium.